Australia, 1932. The nation was young, the economy was broken, and the land itself seemed to enjoy making life difficult for anyone trying to farm it. World War I had just ended a little over a decade earlier. Thousands of Australian soldiers came home, and the government gave them land in the remote west to farm wheat. It was supposed to be a thank you, a fresh start. It was, in fact, a trap. The soil was harsh, the rain was unreliable, the prices of wheat were collapsing globally. These men who had survived machine guns and trench warfare were now losing a war against dirt. And then, the emus arrived. 20,000 of them. Flightless birds nearly 2 meters tall, each weighing about 50 kilograms, moving in massive formations across the outback like a feathery, destructive army. They ate the wheat. They trampled the crops. They broke fences like they were made of paper, which, compared to a 50-kilogram bird running at full speed, they basically were. The farmers tried everything. They shot at them. The birds scattered and came back. They built better fences. The birds went around or under or simply through them. They tried chasing them on horseback. You cannot chase an emu. An emu can run at 50 kilometers per hour, and more importantly, an emu does not care about you or your horse. The farmers were desperate. They had survived Gallipoli, the Western Front, years of mud and blood, and now birds were eating their livelihood. So they did what any reasonable person would do. They asked the government to send the military. And the government said yes. Major G.P.W. Meredith was dispatched with 2 soldiers, 2 Lewis machine guns, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. The mission was simple: find the emus, point the guns at the emus, shoot the emus. Problem solved. The problem was not solved. The first engagement took place in early November. A group of about 50 emus was spotted near a dam. The soldiers set up the machine guns and waited. The birds approached. The guns opened fire. The emus split into small groups, ran in every direction, and disappeared into the brush. They were fast. They were unpredictable. And they apparently understood the concept of tactical retreat better than most humans do. Major Meredith later reported, and this is a real quote, "If we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world." Let me repeat that. A military officer, a real one, said the emus could face any army in the world. The second engagement was worse. Meredith found a large flock, maybe 1,000 birds. He set up an ambush near a dam. His men waited patiently. The birds came into range. One gun jammed immediately. The other gun fired about 1,200 rounds before the birds simply walked away. Estimates of casualties range from 12 to maybe 50 birds, out of 1,000, using 1,200 bullets. That is roughly 24 bullets per confirmed kill against birds that were standing still. The emus, it turned out, had a strategy. When fired upon, the leader of the group would take the flock in a tight formation, running in a way that made them nearly impossible to hit with a machine gun. They moved like a coordinated unit under fire. Better than many human units under fire, according to the Major himself. By the 8th of November, after days of campaigning, Meredith's men had killed an estimated 250 to 300 emus, out of 20,000. The military, after spending significant time and ammunition, withdrew in defeat. The Australian Parliament debated the matter. One politician, apparently the only sane person in the building, pointed out that there was no possible glory in a war against birds. The farmers asked the military to come back. The military came back. The result was exactly the same. Meredith tried mounting the machine guns on trucks. The trucks couldn't keep up with the birds, and the ride was so bumpy that no one could aim. He tried ambushes. The birds avoided them. He tried everything a professional soldier could think of, and the birds beat him every time. By December, the government had had enough. The Minister of Defense declared the operation a failure and pulled the troops out permanently. The emus had won. The final toll was estimated at under 1,000 birds killed, out of a population of 20,000, using nearly 10,000 rounds of military ammunition.
That is 10 bullets per bird, fought by trained soldiers with machine guns. And the birds still won the war.
The government eventually switched to a bounty system, paying farmers to kill emus themselves. Over the next decade, about 57,000 birds were killed this way. Funny how a farmer with a rifle succeeded where the military with machine guns could not. Major Meredith went home. The farmers kept struggling, the emus kept existing, and Australia never spoke of this again. Except they did. Every time the emu population surged, someone would suggest sending the military again, and every time someone else would say, absolutely not, because we all remember what happened last time. The Great Emu War remains one of the only recorded conflicts in human history where a nation deployed its full military against animals, and the animals won decisively. Not through violence, not through strategy in any human sense, but by being fast, being stubborn, and simply refusing to die on schedule. There is a lesson in that, somewhere. Probably something about hubris, or the limits of force, or maybe just that nature doesn't care about your rank, your weapons, or your war budget. It just keeps moving, in whatever direction it wants, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it.